Okay, so remember, we have two parts. One is for legs, and another is actually Yacc. So remember, Yacc is producing one buffer. The name of that buffer is what? Yacc buffer is called what? Do you know the name? Anybody know the name? The name of the Yacc buffer is called YY parts. So whatever the output, it is generated by YY parts. Next one, generate another buffer. What is that called? YY legs. And your input has another buffer, which is called YY text. So it is, the movement is like this. You give something, your input, it is passing to YY text. Then YY text pass it to YY legs. Okay, so YY text passing it to YY legs. After the scanner or scanning, after the scanning part, this YY legs pass it to YY parts, and finally you get the output. So this is the movement happening here. This is the ultimate output. Okay?
So
Do you have any
after
query after that?
scanner,
Yes.
can
So
you repeat?
YY legs passes the scanned output to YY parts. Finally, YY parts using the grammar generate the output. So here, YY legs take help from regex, and this YY parts takes help from context free grammar. So that's the thing. And this is your input buffer. This is nothing but input buffer. Okay, so that is the movement. So do you have any query about that? No. Okay. So let's go back to parse out our Yacc file. So let's go to Yacc file. So what is our Yacc file? Our Yacc file is over here. L. If you don't understand it correctly, then it would become very difficult for you to solve uh, the project. You cannot solve the project. That's for sure. Okay. So try to understand. Okay. So can you see the code actually?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, so you see here, actually over here, we have YY legs. That means we are taking input from legs buffer, which is nothing but YY legs.
Take.
And it has another peripheral buffer, which is nothing but YY error. It is actually generating the error, and we have actually overriding that method over here. We have created our YY error, which is nothing but printing the string, which is passing to that method. So it is not that important. But initially, we are taking input from YY legs, and finally, what happened? We are throwing the output using YY parts, which is the output buffer of the Yacc. Now you can ask me, just sir, why you are doing the Yacc part first, then you are doing the legs part. So it is actually the convention. The people who are extensively code in legs and Yacc, they at first do the Yacc part, then they go to legs part. There's a various reason behind that. So this is the thing. So you understand? And actually this part is nothing but the context-free grammar. This part is nothing but the context-free grammar. This is the context-free grammar. You know that E equal to E plus T. So this part, and as addition to this, we have also written what is the action. So initially, what is the action here? This is the grammar. Expression is nothing but expression plus terminal. So what happened after this product has been done? This expression would become this expression plus the value of this terminal. And the position of this is nothing but double dollar. So that's why we have written here double dollar. The position of this is nothing but one. So that's why we have written here $1. The position of this is nothing but $3. So that's why we have written it dollar. And the action is for addition. That's why we have written double dollar is nothing but $1 plus $2. The same way we have written here double dollar is nothing but $1 start $3 because here the product is multiplication. And here actually what we are doing, the position of expression is 2 because this is the first position, this is the second position, and this is the $dollar. So here the $dollar is nothing but dollar equal to nothing but $2. And whenever $dollar is nothing but $1, that is by default, that's why we don't return this thing. It is something like this. So for example, here we do not need to write this thing. $dollar is equal to $1. We do not need to write this thing. It is by default there. But if you want to write, you can write it. It is just creating an overhead. So that's it. Do you have any query or not? Any question? And oh my God. Wait a minute. More? Romana? More? Hey, Amma. Amma, show. Sorry guys for the interruption. My daughter wake up, so it is a most important duty for me. Okay, now tell me, do you have any question you can ask? And
So,
here actually in this part, you have just pointed out what is your start symbol. So start, dollar start, it represents ST is my start symbol of the context free grammar, and term is nothing but actually representing the term is nothing but representing the terminals. So here my terminals are exit and num, and type is nothing but my variable. Actually, I have represent here using dollar percentage type. So st, augment, expression, tar, mul, they are my variables. And this is a special data structure. This data structure dash union, it is going to interlink lex value with the Yacc. So lex values, the values produced in the lex, that is going to be interlinked through this union data structure in the Yacc. So that is the thing. We are going to deal that one later. Don't worry. I'm going to show you the complete code, then you people understand. Now, if you have any question, you can answer. Hmm? Any question? Any question?
No, sir.
Yes, no?
No
Did,
question, sir.
did you understand?
Further. Yes, sir. I did.
So if you understand, I'm going to next part. Okay. If you don't understand, you can ask me question. Simple. Okay, so let's start writing the Yacc code. So Yacc code would be like this. So let's go to Yacc code. So let's create another one. So what would be my Yacc? Yacc would be, let's say, vi. So let's give a cal cal to summer r. I have already this file. Well, okay. So done. So again, the next part has also 3 parts. So my first part will be like this. And I have this part. Okay, so this middle part I'm going to write the regular expression. So what would be my regular expression?
Sir, are you using Bean?
I'm using green, yes. What would be my regular expression? First one is I have to identify number. I have to identify number. How can I identify number? What is number? How can I understand it's a multi-digit number or single digit, multi-digit number or single digit number? How can you identify number? What would be the regex? Yes.
0 to 9.
Huh?
0 to
Okay,
9.
then
0 to
0
9.
to 9. So what would be the regex?
Sir, third bracket 0 dash 9 bracket plus.
Any number must have at least one digit. So how can you represent that? Either that could be 0 or 1 up to 9. So that must have one digit. After that one, I don't care how many digits are there. So how can you write the regex?
With clean closure.
In closure, if you just write 0 to 9, 10 star, then the problem is it is also going to read null character. So you have to fix that issue. So how can you fix that issue?
Replace clean closure with plus.
Wonderful, good. That is the answer. So initially, I'm going to read only one character, 0 to 9. After that one, I don't care how many 0 to 9 are there. So that is the most crucial part. So this is how we can identify 0 to 9, 0 to 9 star. That means any number, any digit. Fine. তারপর next হচ্ছে identify plus star this one. So how can you identify this? How can you identify this? It's simple, very simple.
Sir, we have to put these in third
Okay,
bracket.
good. Third bracket we are going to put. Here we are writing plus star. Ulta kore dei actually. Plus identify right. What else? What is my and? And is nothing but whenever I press enter, that is my and. So that is nothing but the new line symbol. So how can I identify and or new line? How can I identify that one? Simple.
Third
Yes,
bracket.
using the
Slash.
yes double quote bracket are also fine. But bracket is heavy. This is and exit is nothing but whenever I enter the word exit, it is going to execute the exit. So how can you identify exit? When I type exit, it is going to exit. So it is nothing but I'm going to just identify the whole string exit. What else I require? Exit, new line, then plus star, parenthesis, identify number. What else I require?
The final answer.
Final answer. Why do I need to identify the final answer? That is going to be generated by the action of the context-free grammar. So I don't need to. That is a number actually.
Right.
That is also a number. So that is already captured in the identify number, right? So there no
Right.
problem. Finally, I have to identify this one. Identify any character, any arrow character. How can I identify that? It's
Sir,
not.
is identify is a keyword or something?
No, right? Those are the comments. Those are comments. Those are nothing but comments. Those are comments. Heading up the, just for your understanding. I'm going to erase those. Don't worry. So let's erase those. So he has getting confused with this. So exit is done. So just remove exit. And new line is identified. Just remove this one. And this is heading up my lecture. Okay. Identify this. So remove this. Then this one is done. So remove this. Identify any character. Just remove this. All right. So this is the thing. Okay. So this is my regex. Now what would be the action? Tell me. What would be the action for exit? What would be the action for exit? What would be the action for exit? When it get exit, what it is going to do? আচ্ছা সহজটা থেকে শুরু করি। When I get this one, when I match this digit, multiple digits or single digits, when I get the number, I identify the number using this regular expression. What would be my expression? What would be my action? I'm converting that number strings to its value, right? So do you know how to convert number strings into a value in C? Do you have any idea?
So there is a function called a to I.
Atoi, good, fantastic. So atoi is going to take the address. Atoi is going to take the address, the starting address of the number string. Then it will continue up to it gets the numerics. When it stops getting numerics, it stops there and convert the whole thing to actually a value. So something like this. Let's assume something like this. So this is inside my buffer. Here I got 9987. Then I get a character. So what Atoi is going to take, it is going to take, let's assume this is my address, starting address of this, 0 cross F. So what Atoi is going to do, you are going to provide this starting address, 0 comma F. Then it is going to read from here up to here, then convert it to number value, integer 9987. Do you understand this concept?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how can I get the starting address of this? How can I get the starting address of this? What is this now? This is my input buffer. So how can I get the starting address? Come on. Simple. Using YYText. YYText is actually my input buffer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write here atoi, and my address will be provided by YYText. All right. Now, after getting this value, why should I store? I need to store into my union data structure. So what is my union data structure say? It is nothing but YYLVal. This is the union data structure representing in the Yacc file. So YYLVal, and where I'm going to store? Which part of the union? In the character or num? Where I'm going to store? Union is like this. My union is like this. My union is like this. My union is like this. So I think you people know what is union data structure. Union data structure is a clever way to incorporate many data structure. Inside my union, there is a character and there is a num. It is a number. So I'm going to store where? I'm going to store in number. Yes, I'm going to store in the number. I'm going to store in the number. So in union data structure, what I'm going to store? I'm going to store in the number. So it would be like this. It would be like this. So I'm going to my code. I'm going to my code num equal to my atoi YYText. Okay, done. How about this? What would be the action for this? What would be the action for this? Pass star.
Right character.
Whatever we get, we are going to return it back. So what would be my action? Return what? Return whatever I get. So YYText, whatever single character I get. So this is my action. Now let's come back to here. What would be the action for here? All right, so this is complicated. So the thing is, now let's go back to again pages. Whenever YY legs matches something, it returns a value. However, legs matches something, it returns a value. Now it depends on you what value it is going to return. In your code, if you already specify that whenever I get new line, it should return, let's say 100, then if you specify that one, specify, যদি এটা specified, already specified this value, that whenever I get new line, it is going to return 100. Then it is always returning 100 whenever it will get the new line. But in this case, we are not going to write ourselves what it is going to return. We let Yacc to decide what it is going to return. So why? How it is done? See, it is done this way. So let's see. Over there. Let's close this file now. Now see. What is my Yacc file? Vi cal. Now see. This is my Yacc file. When I'm parsing the Yacc file, see, I always write this. Python minus d. If you give this flag minus d, then on behalf of you, it is going to generate a header for you. Inside that header, it stores all the values of this terminals. What terminals associated with what value. For example, let's say like this, ls minus l. Now see, did you see this? See, here already there is a header file, calcu_sum20.tab.h. So this is the header file. Did you see this? Did you see this?
Yes, sir.
calcu_sum20.tab.h. This header file stores all the values. What is the associated value of each term? You might argue just it is already generated. So let's remove this file first. Then see what. So just remove this file. rm. I'm going to remove cal2tab.h. I'm removing this. All right, guys. Now see, I don't have this file. I don't have this file. I don't have any tab.h. Now see, if I write Python cal2sum.y without giving the -d flag, now it is not going to generate anything. See, again ls.l. See, there is no tab.h. Now, if you don't use the flag -d, you have to write your own header file. Inside that header file, you have to specify what is the specific value for each terminal, which is going to be returned by the lex file, lex code. But here, if I give -d, can see what now. I have again compile ls -l. Now see, it has generated tab.h. Now see, yes, see over there. calcu_sum tab.h. You might, so this is the header file where all the information of the terminals associated values are stored. We can open that file if you want, but it is not very readable for you. I think so. It will be very complicated for you, but I can open it. So this is the file. You see, this is the whole file generated by the Python compiler. This, and this is the complete definition of header. Somewhere there is the values. You see, exit values is 258, end value is 259, num value is 260. Those are randomly generated. Okay, did you understand the concept? It's the auto-generated file, but reading this is very complicated. Okay, all right. So we are going to auto-generate this file. Now what happened? Let's go back to L. Now we are done. So here, what we are going to return? What we are going to return? We are going to return new. So this is the value pair, and is the name of the terminal, and we are returning the value of that. Here we are going to return it. Then here we are going to return nothing, but here we are going to return now. All right, so done. We are done with the code, almost done. And finally, we need to add another thing. If we get tab or new tab or space, we are not going to do anything. So we are done with the regex. Are you done? Do you have any question you can ask me? No question? So we can finish the code. আর ফাইনালি এটা তো লেখি নাই, এটা তো এটাই হবে। আমরা ইকো করব, then we are going to call yy error, and we are going to write all right. So echo y error invalid character. All right. So finally আমাদের একটা wrap লাগবে। All right. প্রয়োজন হয়। Finally আমাদের এই একটা করতে হবে। ইনক্লুড থেকে প্রিন্টএফ। আচ্ছা, এখানে আমাদের একটা টিএসটিডি আইডি দিয়ে দেব। এক সময় ইয়াটা থাকে না, একটা এসটিডি আইডির মতো থাকে না। এসটিডি লিঙ্কটা দিয়ে দেব। আমরা কি ব্যবহার করেছি? y অ্যারো ব্যবহার করেছি। y ব্যবহার হচ্ছে আমাদের এক্সটার্ন, এক্সটার্ন ভয়েড, তাই তো? ভয়েড string ছিল। It's done. What is done? We're done with the code. Finally, now exit. Now see, you have already seen the value value of the exit and end in the our file, the header file, cal to sum 20.tab.h। সেখানে আমরা দেখেছি যে and এর ভ্যালু ছিল কত? and এর ভ্যালু ছিল কত? What is the and value? Tell me. What is the and value? Come on. What is the and value there? The and value is there. Exit and is actually 259. Exit is 258 and num is 260. So this value, how can actually Lex file will understand? Tell me, how can we let understand Lex value? These values. Tell me. কথা বলেন? We have to also include the header file. So here we are also going to write include cal to sum 20.tab.h. We are done with the code. Do you have any query? You can ask. Cal to sum 20.tab.h. All right. So let's compile. So we are already done with Python compilation. Let's compile it again. Python -d cal to sum dot. Yeah. So we compile it. Now it has generated these 3 files. This one. So it has generated Python generated cal to sum 20 tab.c, and it also generated cal to sum 20 tab.h, and we have incorporated this file inside our Lex file. Now let's compile lex file. Let's compile lex file. So what is our lex? Lex is lex L to sum R dot L. So compile it, no problem. Now what it is generating? It is generating this file. Lex.yy.c. Lex is going to generate using this file lex.c. If you are not convinced, let's remove this file. Let's remove this. Now there is no lex.yy.c. Let's compile again. Now see ls minus l is generated lex.yy.c. Now what we are going to do? We are going to compile. We are going to compile Bison's .c file and lex lex.c file together, and finally we will get our desired file. So how we are going to do that one? We are going to combine both of this file and compile it. So this is a minus of cal to now what is my first file? Lex.yy.c. What is my second file? Cal to sum dot tab dot c. So let's compile this. There is no problem. Now we get our desired executables. And my desired executable is nothing but, in this case, calcusum. Where is that one? Where is my desired one? My desired one is nothing but calcusum. Watch, I can get it. So, it out how to do it. नाम देता हूँ, नाम दिया करता हूँ. So let's call this minus o. Call this now let's call this calculate. Now I am running. Let's give the output. 1 plus 2, 3. Let's give 23. Give me an input. 23 plus 1 plus 2 start 3 plus 56 start 2. Is the output 1? Did you get the point? If you have any query, you can ask me. And whenever you write exit, did you understand the code or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir. I think
If
we'll
you
understand more.
understand the code, then yes, if you understand more after getting the course, that will be fine. So it is up to you. It is a little bit difficult, yes, I understand, but you have to solve. All right. Any query? You can ask. All right. Any question? Any question, guys?
Sir, first we have to start by like with the lex structure.
It is better to start with Yacc than lex.
Yeah. And then
I recommend you to start with. I recommend you to start with actually
Yeah.
I will recommend you to start with legs. Yes. I will recommend you to start with legs. Then go to Yacc. It is my suggestion. But if you want to do reverse flow, it is up to you. All right. Any question? Eh? Do you have any question? You can ask me. A question?
Not
Let's
yet.
go back to our theory class. Let's go back to our theory class. Let's go back. So what did we stop in the SLR parser, right? So let's try to
Sir, comparison. We did the
we
comparison.
did the comparison as well.
In,
So let's try to initial review. So actually what happened? We have seen this grammar. We have seen this grammar. So we have seen this grammar. E derives T plus E or T derives ID. Then we are trying to find out the so we have started with this grammar. E derives T plus E or T derives ID. We are trying to find out LR percentile. We have seen there are two conflicts there. No, sorry, there are one conflicts there. There are on SR conflicts. But when we are trying to find out SLR percentile, we see that conflict is gone because LR percentile we enter, we put the reduce move in the entire row of the action. On the other hand, in SLR1 parsing, what did you put the reduce move? Why did you put the reduce move? Huh? Come on. ওটা তো সবচেয়ে most important difference. LR0 parsing, we put the reduce move in
Shift.
entire row of shift or
entire row
action.
of shift.
And what did we put the reduce move in the SLR1 parsing table? Follow of LHS of product. Am I right? Follow of LHS of product. So what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is when I get this one, this state, number 2, there is a reduce move. E derives T dot. So definitely there is a reduce move. Now what happened? Why should I put the reduce move in LR0? In entire row of the sheet. That means in plus I'm going to put R2, in ID I'm going to put R2, in dollar I'm going to put R2. But in this state there is also a shift because there is a move on plus, which is a terminal. So definitely SR would be also on plus. Now this is a conflict, SR conflict. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
There is
Yes.
a SR conflict. But in SLR1, why should I put the reduce move? I should put the reduce move this product. This is nothing but
In the follow of
strip.
LH.
Follow LHS. In this case, LHS is nothing but E. So what is the follow of E? Dollar. So this reduce move is going to be vanished from plus and from ID. It would be only remain on dollar. Then what happened? Now this shift is going to be free. The shift is going to be free. Initially, in plus, there is S4 and R2 in LR0. In LR0. But when I go to SLR1, this one is vanished. So also the conflict is also vanish. In this plus, in LR0, there is a shift reduce conflict, S4 and R2. But when I go to SLR1, because of less entries, this R2 is vanished. So the conflict is also vanished. That is the magic of SLR1. Did you get it? Done? Any query?
Yeah, no, no, sir,
No,
no
sir. So
question.
let's try to parse a string. But parsing mechanism is absolutely same. There is no difference in parsing mechanism. Parsing is absolutely same. The way you parse in LR0, the same way you are parsing in SLR1. So what is the catch? What is the catch? So what is the catch? Parsing algorithm in LR0 and SLR1 same, but the table is different. In fact, in all LR parsers, parsing algorithm is in fact all LR parsing algorithm is same. And what is the parsing algorithm? Can you tell me the parsing algorithm? হ্যাঁ প্রচুর ফাঁকিবাজি হচ্ছে আগামী সপ্তাহে কুইজ দিয়ে দিলাম যাতে পড়াশোনা করেন নেক্সট উইকের ফার্স্ট ক্লাস না সেকেন্ড ক্লাস কোনটাতে চাই
Second class, sir.
So predictable. These people are so predictable. Okay, so let's try to take a string and parse this up. So let's take this string id plus id plus id. So how can I parse this one? Why should I start? What will be the first entry in the stack?
$.
ডলার কিছুই ভাষায় পড়ে না এলআর পার্সারের ফার্স্ট এন্ট্রিটা কি থাকে স্ট্যাকে 0 starting state. Now 0. This is my look ahead, current look ahead. Now 0 id. So go to 0 row, go to id column. So what is the entry?
Shift 3.
Shift 3. So shift means pushing in the, so same thing. Algorithm is like this. Shift means push in stack. Reduce means
Pop.
pop from stack and reduce the right side to left side of a product. And how many entries need to be popped? Number of entries pop is equal to what? Tell me.
2 multiplied by
2
number of
multiplied by good.
cardinality of RHS.
Cardinality of RHS. Fantastic. Cardinality of RHS of product. Fantastic. So this is the algorithm. Shift means push in stack, reduce means pop from stack, and reduce the right to left of a product. And how many things you are going to pop? Number of entries pop is equal to nothing but 2 into cardinality of RHS of product. And this product is same everywhere. This is the same product. Now 0 seeing ID. So what is the thing? Shift 3. So what I'm going to shift? Shift means I'm going to shift the ID. So another catch is there. There's a side note. PS. The look ahead moves only in one. Only in the look ahead moves only in shift. Only when there is shift, look ahead will move. Otherwise, it will not move. So, as it is shift, now look ahead is going to move to plus. And shift 3. So, it is shift 3. So, new state would be 3. Now, 3 is sync plus. Going to 3, sync plus. What I'm going to do?
Reduce.
Reduce using rule number 3. So, what is my rule number 3? What is my rule number 3? So, I have rule E derives T plus E or T, and I have T derives ID. And I have numbered this one as rule number 1, this one is rule number 2, this one is rule number 3. So which rule I'm going to use?
T deduct ID.
T
T derives ID. So I'm going to reduce the right hand side to left hand side. That means ID is going to be reduced to T. So how many pop I need to do? Cardinality is here. Right hand side cardinality is 1. So how many entries I need to reduce?
2.
2. So
2,
1,
sir.
2. This ID would become T, and I'm going to push this one. So there should be another node. So reduce, after reduce, push the LHS. So this is the algorithm. Push the LHS. So now we are done. Pop from stack and reduce the right to left of a product. Number of entries pop equal to 2 star. Cardinality of right hand side, then push the LHS. Now I push the T. Now what would be the new state? I'm going T up to back. Back. So it is 0. Now we are going to 0 T. What is the entry?
2.
So what the new
3.
state would be 2. Now 2 is sync plus. 2 is sync plus. What is the entry?
Shift 4.
Shift 4. In LR0, there are 2 entries. There is a conflict. But SLR1, there is only 1 entry. So no conflict. So shift. So what is shift? Push. I'm pushing plus and going to state number 4. So look at who is going to be moved. Now 4 is saying ID. 4 is saying ID. আমি এখানে একটা বাদ দিচ্ছি। 4 is saying ID হচ্ছে গিয়ে going to state 3.
R3.
এখানে
Reduce.
একটা বাদ দিয়েছি। আমি একটা বাদ দিয়েছি। 4 seeing ID going to shift 3. টেবিলে একটা ঝুলছে shift 3. So, sorry, make a correction. 4 seeing ID going to shift 3. The 4 seeing ID, why did it go shift 3? So I'm going to push ID and new state would be 3. So as is shift, that's the look at is going to go. Now 3 sync plus. 3 sync plus. 3 sync plus. What is the thing? What is the entry?
R3. Reduce 3.
R3. So I'm going to reduce this in rule number 3. What is rule number 3? T derives ID. So 3. So what is the cardinality of RHS?
1.
So how many entries I'm going to pop?
2.
2. So 1, 2. So what I'm going to push? T. So which ID is getting T? This ID is getting T. Okay. Now what would be the new state? What would be the new state? I'm going T back, 4. So 4 sync T. What should I go? State 2. Now 2 is sync plus. 2 is sync plus. 2 sync plus. What is the thing? What is the entry?
It's shift 4, sir.
Shift 4. So I'm going to push. I'm going to state number 4. So it is going to move. Now we know that at the end of the string there is a comma. All right. Now 4 is sync. 4 is sync ID. 4 is sync ID. What is the thing? What is the entry? Shift 3.
3.
So let's go back. Shift 3. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push ID. I'm going to push ID. And what will be the new state? 4. Then it is a shift move. So look at it is going to move. Now 4 is saying dollar. 4 is saying. আমি কি 4 এর এন্ট্রি একটাও লিখি না আমার
স্যার শিফট 3 না
3 তো স্যার সেটা
4 is saying ID. 4 is saying ID, shift 3. Oh, thank you very much. So it would be like this. 3. So 3 is saying dollar. 3 is saying dollar. It is using reduce 3. So I'm going to use rule number 3. ID is going to be T. So this ID is going to be T. So how many I'm going to pop 2 and I'm going to push T. And what would be the new state? Going back 4. 4 saying T, it is nothing but 2. Now 2 is saying dollar. 2 is saying dollar. What is the reduce using rule number?
Sorry,
2 is saying dollar using rule number
the rule
2. So what is rule number 2?
derives
T derives
Derives
E. So how many entries I'm going to pop? The cardinality of right hand side is nothing but 1. So I'm going to pop 2. So 1, 2. 1, 2. What I'm going to do? I'm going to now push E. Which T is going to be E? This T is going to be E. Just before the look arrow. Now, what would be the new state? Going back, 4. 4 saying E. State number 5. Now, 5 is saying dollar. 5 is saying dollar. 5 is saying dollar. What is the entry? Rule number 1. Reduce is in rule number 1. So what is the rule 1? E derives T plus E. So how many entries on the right hand side? How many entries on the right hand side? What is the cardinality? 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to pop 6.
6
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now T plus E is going to reduce to E. So here I have E plus T. So T plus E. This one is going to reduce to
E.
E.
E, sir.
Good. Now what I'm going to push? I'm going to push E. Now what will be the new state? Going back. 4. 4 saying E. I'm going to state 5.
Right.
Now 5 is again saying dollar. 5 is again saying dollar. Rule
One.
number 1. So again I'm going to pop 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So what is the rule? T plus E is going to be E. So T plus E going to be E. So I'm going to push E. Now going back. 0. 0 saying E. I'm going to state number 1. Now 1 is saying dollar. That means dollar is saying dollar. Etc. So this is the parsing. All right. So this is the parsing algorithm. This is the parsing algorithm. So you have a question you can ask. Anything else? It's fun, huh? আমার মনে হয় আপনারা লেক্স এবং ইয়াকের পার্টটা ভালো মতো বুঝতে পারেন। Am I right? Many people have problems.
Sir, our internet issues are karne, like I can not see anything properly. Everything is very blurry. So
So how about the other people? Everybody is facing the same problem?
না স্যার দেখা
Okay, so they are seeing perfectly. But any question? আমি কিন্তু আর লেক্স ইয়াক নিয়ে I'm not going to take any more classes. So if you have any question you can ask. ফারহিম একটা চমৎকার কোশ্চেন করেছিল যে স্যার escape sequence গুলো কি POSIX is also applicable? Yes, but it is complicated. It is a little bit complicated. Okay, not very crystal clear like Perl based regex. Little complicated, but you can try actually. Always you have the tool, you can try. For example, let's go back over here. Let's do a little more regex. And what would be the syllabus for the quiz? What would be the syllabus for quiz? We should take another class and include that one for quiz, or up to this?
Sir, nah, up to this.
Up to this, okay, up to this. Up to this, okay. So quiz syllabus is operator precedence person and operator precedence grammar, LR0 and SLR1.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go back to his question. In the Farim, are you present? Farim? Farim is not present. So last class he asked this question. Yes, sir, what happened? So are you seeing the terminal?
No,
Yes?
no, sir.
You're not seeing the terminal?
No, no.
No, sir.
How about now? Are you seeing the terminal?
Yes, sir.
Wait.
স্যার একটা কোয়েশ্চেন ছিল
Yes, please.
স্যার আমরা যখন লেক্স পার্টে যখন আমরা মানে যখন ওয়াই ওয়াই লেক্সটা যখন মানে প্রত্যেকটা টোকেন পড়ে রিড করে মানে ওই টোকেনটার পয়েন্টার কোথায় পাবো মানে আমি ওই যে টোকেনটা কেবল পড়বে ওইটা আমি রিট্রিভ করতে চাচ্ছিলাম আফটার পার্সিং মানে
ওটা পয়েন্টারটা কিভাবে পাবো? ওয়াই টেক্সটে ওটা তো একটা অ্যারে, ওটা তো একটা অ্যারে।
আচ্ছা
একটা গুড কোশ্চেন, খুব গুড কোশ্চেন তো, কিন্তু এটা একটা বেসিক কোশ্চেন, আপনার এটা জানা উচিত ছিল। দেখেন, এই তো আমার বাফারটা, দিস ইজ মাই বাফার,
ইয়েস স্যার
দিস ইজ মাই ইনপুট বাফার। এখানে আপনি ইনপুট গুলো দিয়েছেন, এটাই তো ওয়াই টেক্সট।
আচ্ছা
এটা তো একটা অ্যারে, আপনি অ্যারের ইন্ডেক্সের ভ্যালু যদি বের করেন তাহলে আপনি ভ্যালুটা পাবেন, আর যদি কেবলমাত্র ওয়াই টেক্সট দেন ইউ উইল গেট দ্য অ্যাড্রেস।
অলরাইট স্যার সো স্যার এটা একটা পয়েন্টার
It is moving, it is moving. Initially it is here, after done with this it is going here. This array is moving, index is moving. If you want to get the current input, just write y by text, comma 0. then you will get current value of buffer. And if you write y by text only, current value of address. Did you get the point? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, okay. So this is the thing. The simple. First one is y by text, then y by legs, then y by parts. They are interlinked this. They are interlinked this way, going this way, left to right. Good question. Very good question. Wonderful.
স্যার ওয়াই টেক্সটটা পয়েন্ট করবে হচ্ছে যে যতটুকু স্ট্রিং আমার ম্যাচ করেছে প্যাটার্নটার সাথে মানে রেগেক্স এর সাথে।
ওয়াই ওয়াই টেক্সট একটা করে রিড করবে। না 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 না, ওয়াই ওয়াই টেক্সট একটা করে ক্যারেক্টার রিড করবে। It is reading one character by one character.
আচ্ছা
Whenever you use atoy, that time it reads the whatever required. But actually it is reading one character by one character. Did you get the point?
ইয়েস স্যার।
Okay, sir. Let's go over that. This is important. He said sir, so how about this? Yes, sir. Let's say like this. Sir, star. Star is a special character in X or lex. So how can I read star? Or how can I read plus? Because those are special characters. So it is his question. Yes, sir. We know that when we write like this, 0 to 9, then I write 0 to 9 plus. Then actually it is a special character in lex. It means at first I read single digit, then I am going to read multiple digit, one or more digit. Or if I get 0 to 9 star, it means initially I read one digit, then I read 0 or more digit. So how can you read star? Or how can you read plus? And he is most probably familiar with Perl-based regex. In Perl-based regex, whenever some special characters which are used for regex specification, if you want to really read those symbols, you have to use escape characters. So what is escape? Something like this. So here it means that I'm trying to read star as a literal value. So that's why I escape it with a backslash. Is it clear to you guys?
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is the escape one. This is called escape sequence. Now what happened? Now see. If I flex test.l, then problem. So it is a little complicated. So let's give test. Now let's give start. Touch 7. Good. Fantastic. Nice. Okay. নতুন করে লেক্সা করলাম, তারপর জিসিসি মাইনাস ও টেস্ট দেন আমি রাইট করলাম x.y ওকে। ভেরি গুড, আমি একটা ভুল করেছি। and I'm at this. So this one. All right. So now see.
স্যার
Test.
কার্লি ব্রেসেস মিসিং স্যার, ওই অ্যাকশন পার্টের কার্লি ব্রেসেস
না
গুলো
এখন কোনো প্রবলেম না, কার্লি ব্রেস দাও একটা স্টেটমেন্টের জন্য, ইট ইজ নট নেসেসারি। নাও গিভ স্টার, নাও সি ম্যাচ স্টার, ফাইন। তার মানে ইফ আই গিভ এসকেপ I can read actually special characters, but things is not that easy. See, it is a little bit complicated. Let's assume I don't give any escape sequence. I don't give any escape sequence. Let's assume I don't give any escape sequence. I remove the escape sequence. So basically, if it is like Perl based, then what happened? It cannot read that one. But now see the case. Now see give star. Still it match star. Did you see that? So it is a little bit difficult, little bit complicated. But see this one. Let's do this thing. Let's react s.l. Let's try to read a square bracket inside a square bracket. So let's have this. Insert. So I like to read the left square brace, this one.
স্যার সিকোয়েন্স ছাড়াই স্কিপ।
মানে আমি হচ্ছে কি ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে কি স্কোয়ার ব্র্যাকেটের ভিতরে আই এম ট্রাইং টু রিড দ্য লেফট স্কোয়ার অর রাইট
Yeah,
স্কোয়ার।
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got
Got it? Okay. So I'm trying to read this one. So printf, let's try this one. And figure. That's fine. Yes.
স্যার
Now,
প্রিন্টার এখানে আমি ওয়াই ওয়াই টেক্সট ইউজ করতে পারবো?
কোনটাতে? আপনি বারবার ভুল করছেন, এটা তো ফুল ফ্লেশ লেক্স ফাইল। আমি তো এটা ইয়াকের সাথে কানেক্ট করিনি, এটা কোনো ইয়াক পার্ট তো নেই। ইট ডাজ নট হ্যাভ এনি ইয়াক পার্ট। It is full fledged lex part.
Okay.
Whenever you are trying to pass the value from lex to yak, that time you are going to write YY text. I'm not passing to anybody. When you want to pass the input buffer's value directly to the yak file, that time you are going to write YY text. Did you get it? But this is a full-fledged lex file. I'm not going to passing anything. So why I'm going to write YY text? I don't require that one. It is for different purpose. Okay. Now let's do again. Flex test.l. Okay, fine. Let's give GCC minus o test, then give test.l. See, there's a problem. So there's a problem. Now syntax error has happened. Now what happened? If you now escape this one, let's assume we're escaping this. We escape this and this. We escape this. Now what happens? Good. Still there is a problem. File format like experience linker script. Okay. Still has a linker script. Okay. এটা কারণে linker script হবে। আবার ট্রাই করি, clear হবে। Let's remove this. So there's a problem. Now let's do escape. Okay, okay. আবার ভুল করছি। So let's try to remove this one. Then actually let's flex. Then GCC minus O test lex.y/. Answer. Now compilation is done. But let's try to read square brace. I give this one, what it says, any character. So it is not reading. Am I right? It's not reading square braces. Let's give another
Yes,
one.
sir.
Any character. So it is not reading. Now let's escape this one. Let's see what. Takes yes, this one. Okay. So now let's escape this. Escape this and escape this. Now again flex this one. And right now let's write this. Let's give this one. You see, now it is actually ready. So it is recursively actually whenever you are applying the same symbol inside same regex. Okay, then you have to give the escape sequence, but not always. Now I'm going to give another example. Let's say, now see. Instead of this square bracket, let's do this. Now, instead of this, let's try this. Then give an X square bracket. Now see what happens. Now I do not need to actually escape this. It will be fine. Now let's flex this one. This one. Okay, now let's write test. Now let's give this one. See, match either square. So see, but again, now instead of here, if you want to read quote, let's say quote, double quote. Now double quote is inside double quote. Now it is a problem. Now you have to either, let's say, you say double quote, match double quote. Now, if you want to match this double quote inside a double quote, then you have to escape. So you have to escape. Then you is going to match that. Did you understand the point? So that is the big difference. All right, guys. So if you have any question, you can ask me. Any question? Yes?
No, sir, no question.
So you understand, sir. It is a good question actually, by the way. Very good question. But that is the thing. Okay. All right, guys. So we can stop here today. If you have any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to leave. So you have to practice little for Lex and Yacc. Then actually, it is getting very familiar. All right,
Sir,
guys.
are you going to upload the file?
I'm going to talk about the.
Are you going to upload the file?
Of course, all the files I'm going to upload. Those are for you guys.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Keep in touch. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, sir. Thank you.